A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A good start. One play, 10 yards.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. First down, here's Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. The Vikings 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
To throw again on second down, Cousins. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Vikings send out their punter. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense for the Vikings, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibbs, and he goes across the 20 to the 22. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibbs. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st down, it's Gibbs. And able to get this to the 31.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
The ball comes out.
I know many talk about the kick return as maybe the most exciting play in football, but any type of a return where it's a change of possession, where the defense gets the ball, that's exciting too, but it's not just an accident. Once they get the football, they've worked on finding people to block, creating running lanes for the guy with the ball, and protecting him, and this one was a long run.
Absolutely, they did all of that and more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was.
And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jamison Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the wide side with Cook. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins being chased out left. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Play fake. Cousins. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Gibbs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd down, it's Gibbs. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So they'll walk him back half the distance. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cousins to throw it. He's going to get this one down to Cook. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Cousins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now Cousins. Now Cook hit, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. All fumbles are costly, but that one really hurts because he had the first down.
Yeah, and that's all he needed, right? But the problem is we coach these guys to try and get more, but that doesn't count if you don't bring the ball with you, does it?
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Oh, a good. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Four yards remain for second down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Gibbs. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On second down now, it's Gibbs, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
A quick throw finds T.J. Hockenson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Cousins on 1st down. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
But look what we have here. A sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
Cousins on the keeper, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Kirk Cousins, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, it's Gibbs. Room here to run. There he goes left side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impress. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 5 from the 8.
They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown
From 8 yards out.
And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins, right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins.
They're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
Still gets a point there, yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back, no bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on that.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff up the middle. Gibbs, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibbs, and he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Cousins finding Hockenson here on the out route. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a give, right side. Gibbs.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 19-yard line. 127 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they'll indeed take a knee. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here is Montgomery on 3rd and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is He's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 4th down, Cousins. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, it's Gibbs, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken around the 12. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
On 1st down, Gibbs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Lions, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.